And I'm also sharing out my desktop right now. You should be seeing the Synex EC Express portal. It's our e-proxy portal, so it may not look the same as yours. But if you cannot see that, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to be using that. I'm also going to be using a PowerPoint as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this over so I don't have to start the slideshow. All right, here we go. Thanks everybody for joining today's Capture the Cloud webinar series. I am Jeff Frigsby, I'm a Microsoft Cloud Manager here at Synex. Today we're going to talk about some of the announcements. Of course, if you're not familiar, June is Microsoft's fiscal year end. So if you've been requesting quotes for Office 365 or any Microsoft product in general, then you've probably seen some pretty aggressive pricing from the folks on our team here. There's a lot of promotions and incentives that are ending this month. The SMB Advantage is one of them. Of course, that's the SMB Growth Incentive. The 25% rebate on top of your additional rebates is actually going to end this month. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll go over the CLOUDSolv CSP Contract Management Portal. I know the last time that we spoke, which I believe was 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that the CLOUDSolv portal was delayed in the launch of it, but it is active now, so you can go on to EC Express and use the CLOUDSolv portal to place your CSP orders. The pricing does reflect the 16% discount. So the last time that I went over the CLOUDSolv portal, I had the PowerPoint that I submitted to everyone after the call. You can use that PowerPoint to go through and place your orders through CLOUDSolv. Now, we're not saying you can't email our Microsoft CSP team and get the orders placed, but of course we would like for you to use the CLOUDSolv portal. It just gives you a little bit more control in the order process. Today, I'm actually going to talk about how you can go in and manage the contracts that you create for your CSP customers. But first, a few announcements. The last time we spoke, the Enterprise E4 plan I mentioned was on the price list. Well, according to Microsoft, just because they place it on the price list does not mean it is available. So what they're telling us is they're giving us 30-day notifications that something is going to be added to the price file, even though it's already on the price file. So the E4 is actually not available until July 1st. CRM Online and government plans through CSP will be on the price file in July, but will not be available to be added to CSP portals until August 1st. They're actually going to announce the CRM Online and some more information on Azure at the Microsoft Worldwide Partner Conference in July. The Office 365 Open Licenses discount that I did mention, if you have anything under 199 seats, we are offering a 4% additional discount on those licenses. Just make sure and ask your sales rep if they're not showing up automatically on your quotes or your prices that you get through online services. If it's over 200 seats of Office 365, then you are getting an additional 6% discount. So make sure, again, if it's not reflected on your quote, to ask your rep and just tell them that Jeff Frigsby said on the Capture the Cloud webinar that we get an additional 4% discount and an additional 6% discount if it's over 200 seats. The CLOUDSolv 365 ordering is now available for 365 Open and CSP. I'll run through that quickly. At the beginning, I've got a new login and website, so hopefully I can do it without any issues. And then, of course, we do have our new Synex Microsoft website. It's synex.com/Microsoft. I've had some feedback from some partners who have some third-party spam filters, like Barracuda, that sometimes you aren't able to get into that website. I don't know if that's an issue on our end or if it's an issue on the Barracuda side, but we are looking into that and hopefully have that fixed here soon. So just a quick rundown of the 365 promotions that are ending. The Open and Advisor Growth Incentive, that did increase from 10 to 15% to 25%. Now, if you've got customers and it's your 10th brand new customer in Microsoft's fiscal year H2, then 10 plus customers, you're going to now receive 25% additional until the end of June. So anything you sell through Open or Advisor, you're going to get that 25% rebate on top of your advisor incentives or your Synex discount plus the 12% VAR rebate. So if you get a 14% discount from us or a 16% discount from us, and the 12% rebate, there's 28% right there. And then the additional 25% equals a total of 53% that you can have as a margin on the Office 365 Open products that you purchase from Cinex. Those are the one-year products that you purchase from Cinex. The Azure Taste Test is coming to an end at the end of this month as well. The Azure Taste Test is what you can use when you buy Windows Server Standard or Windows Server Data Center. All you have to do is just add 1 credit of Azure for those Windows Server Standard licenses, and you will get refunded the $100 for the Azure licenses. For Windows Server for Windows Server Data Center, it's 3 credits or $300 that you can get reimbursed for the Azure Taste Test. Migration offers. If you have not seen this, BitTitan has partnered with Microsoft to offer free Migration Wiz licenses to all partners. It's a first come, first served basis, but if you have a deal that's 50 to 149 seats, Migration Wiz is going to give you those migration products for free. So it's the Migration Wiz product, so you can get those services for free. Contact Betsy Johns at betsyj@cinex.com. She'll give you some more information on that. We also want to make sure that if you are attending WPC, that you do join us at our CSP happy hour. It's going to be before our Cinex event, which is it starts at 6 p.m. at the Red Coconut. So it's in the same place. We're gonna get there at 5. We're gonna host some folks around CSP, talk CSP. Nicole Casey, some other folks from our Microsoft team are going to be there. Nicole's going to be there. She wants to talk to everybody. She's going to bring a notepad. She's going to bring a voice recorder. She's going to take as many notes as she possibly can. So she's going to be there. I'm going to be there as well. We'll have some other folks there to talk to you about CSP. You do need to register. We can send you that link directly. If you don't have this invite, we can send it over to you. Just reach out to myself or Microsoft CSP at cinex.com. All right. So the CLOUDSolv CSP contract management, what can you do with this contract management tool? Now, if you've placed an order through us, you have a contract for CSP. These orders and the order management don't have to be placed through CLOUDSolv in order to use the contract management tools. You can place the orders directly with us. We can do it manually, and you'll still be able to use the contract management system within CLOUDSolv. So some of the things you can do is you can add seats, you can subtract seats, you can add different Office 365 products to a specific subscription. You can delete those products from a subscription. You can even cancel the subscriptions. And we eventually will be able to export all of the data or all of your contracts for your customers. That's going to be within a future CLOUDSolv release. And then, of course, we're also working to integrate with some third-party management tools like ConnectWise. That will allow you to manage the bills, manage the contract that you have through our CLOUDSolv portal. So real quick, I'm going to switch out of this and into the web browser. I'm going to actually try a different login here. And if I go too fast, just let me know. Hopefully I don't go too fast, but I'll try to take it slow here. Give me 1 second. Oops. User error on the typing of the password. Live demos are always fun. And of course, don't worry, it won't take you that long to log in. I think it's just the username and password. Then, okay, cool. All right, good. This is exactly what I wanted to look at. So when you log into your EC Express portal, you'll notice up at the top that you'll have a CLOUDSolv tab. This is where you're going to manage all of your Office 365 products, all of your Office 365 contracts, and of course, any other cloud products that we sell. So if you've already got a CSP customer and you want to manage their specific contract, where you're going to do that is within the Transaction Center on the CLOUDSolv portal. So all you're going to do is just mouse over the Transaction Center option up at the top and then slide down to Contracts. Select that and it's going to take you to the contract page. Give it a little bit of time. If you have a lot of contracts, sometimes it takes a little bit to load. But you'll notice that all of your contracts, now this isn't specific to Microsoft, it's going to be specific to any cloud product that Cinex sells that has a contract attached to it. So What you'll need to do is just make sure you keep track of any of the contract numbers that we give to you for your CSP customers. Lauren does a good job of sending out those email confirmations with the Excel spreadsheets attached, so those will have the contract numbers on them. But for this one, I don't believe this one's actually tied to anything at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the order process real quick so everybody has a good overview of what that is. If you haven't seen it before, you'll get a chance to see it again. So if you're placing a new order for Office 365, you're just going to come in and select Office 365 right off the bat. You'll see that it's got a nice little view, tells you the 3 different products that are available: Open, Advisor, CSP, tells you the differences between the 2. We don't quite have a video yet. We've got one that they're supposed to be linking there soon. All it's going to be is just an overview of Office 365 and really what it is. You'll notice here that at the bottom you'll have your MSRP and of course the reseller unit price. These do reflect a 16% discount. These actually don't. Not sure why. I think it's the development environment. But one of the ways to tell whether it's 16% is based off the business premium. It's going to be $10.50. So that's 16% off of $12.50. So if it doesn't say $10.50 for the business premium, then something's wrong with your pricing. Just let us know. We'll get it straightened out for you. So all you got to do is just find the product that you want. And if you didn't follow me there, I just went up here and selected the monthly CSP. Find the product that you want to purchase. Select the quantity. It's going to give you your cost over here. And then scroll on down and it's going to give you the MSRP, the reseller unit price, and the summary of the order itself. Just select Add to Cart. For demo purposes, we're going to use wire transfer. Now, if you've already got an end user that exists and you want to just use that end user again, you can select them from the end user tab. If you don't have one, you're going to need to create one. We're going to create a new user. I'm going to go Synex CSP test. Give me a second as I slow type this. Address is 39. I'm going to use myself as the contact. When you're typing in the phone numbers, do not use dashes or spaces because it will kick it back. So make sure you just use the number format, no dashes, no spaces. And then we're going to submit it, and it's going to create that user for us. Now, if you ever need to make any changes or delete a user, you can do it over here in the Actions tab. So you can edit, you can delete them. But for this one, we're going to actually select, and we're going to select the end user and go to cart. So it's going to go back here, and it's going to have all the information populated for us. I'm going to use a default PO. Then I'm going to continue checkout and preview the contract. And of course, the reseller PO is your PO. Sometimes you have to double click that. So just make sure it grays out after you click it, because that's going to take us where we need to go. Now this is a summary of the order itself. It's going to tell you that the billing is monthly. So just make sure if you're trying to place a CSP order that the billing says monthly and not yearly. You'll notice it says service provision is required, so that will be a next step. If this is your first time using the CLOUDSolv portal, you're actually going to be required to agree to the terms and conditions of the CSP program. So we'll actually list out the CSP agreement. Once you do it once, you don't have to do it again. If you ever need a copy of the agreement, then you just can check the box and put in your email or add other people's emails, as many as you need to get a copy of that CSP agreement. Once everything is configured and you know this is exactly what you want, then you can create the contract and submit the PO. And it's going to give you an overview. It's going to tell you that your PO is saved successfully. It's going to give you the confirmation number and, of course, the contract ID, 73218. Write that down when you get here, or you can review the contract, review the PO. Now you'll notice that the next step is to provision the 365 account. So we're going to click on Next. And it's going to take us to that contract management. Now this is where we get to when we go to the Transaction Center and select Contracts. If I were to go into the Contract section and select the contract itself, this is the view it's going to give me. Now the next step is to select the Action Required link, and it's going to pre-populate that end user's information. And this is where we're going to select the Office 365 default domain for that customer. So I'm just going to use Synex CSP test. And 360, well, we just used 123, just in case. If for any reason the domain that you have put in here has been taken, when you try to provision this, it's actually going to fail. If it does fail, we will get a notification of you, but odds are if it fails, it's because the Office 365 domain that you're trying to use has already been taken. If you'd like for us to confirm if you do get that fail notification, just email Microsoft CSP, and we'll be glad to double check for you just to make sure. But just be prepared to have more than one default domain for your Office 365 customers, just in case. Now, before we provision, just want to make sure that everything is correct. So, yep, everything's good. Yep, here's the plan we're doing, and we're going to submit that. All the wheels start turning, and it's going to tell you that the service is provisioning. Now, right now, we don't have a way to actually update the provisioning status without refreshing the page. So that's why I said it's important to remember the contract number. So 73218. We're going to refresh the page, and it's going to take us back to the CLOUDSolv main page. Select Transaction Center. Go back to the Contracts section. And for this one, I'm just going to use the entry date because it's going to put it right up there at the top. So just filter by the entry date, and it'll put the newest one right up at the top. Just select the contract ID there. And it's going to reload and tell us whether or not it's been provisioned. Okay, it is still provisioning. But once it has been provisioned, the primary contact that you used, so this email address right here, is going to receive an email from our services with the default login ID and the temporary password to log in to the Office 365 account. Now, once all of that has been finished, you can go into the Office 365 account, begin provisioning the users, creating the users, and deploying the Office 365 service. If at any time you need to come back in and edit the contract itself, I'm going to reload it one more time. Hopefully it'll work this time. And it's because this is a demo environment that it may not completely do it. I didn't want to do it in a production because then I would have had to use someone's account, and I didn't want to do that. Try one more time here. Activated, perfect. So this lets us know that the Office 365 service for Synex CSP test 123.onmicrosoft.com is now active. Again, this email will get a notification, and this email will get a notification of the account creation. Now, if you need to go back in, like I mentioned, and edit the contract itself, or add, delete licenses, or add, delete line items, you can do that through here. Just go into the contract itself, select edit, add quantity, reduce quantity, or cancel. So if you needed to add quantity, it's fairly simple. Just type in the new quantity, click OK, and it's going to go through the provision process again. So it'll tell you quantity is now 11, added 10. If you want to do the same thing and reduce quantity, you can. But of course, what we need to do first is to submit this, because once you add the quantity here, it's going to give you this look, but you need to go back in and submit it. So that way it gets sent to Microsoft and the Office 365 service, and the change is made on the account within 365 itself. So we'll let that run its course real quick. All right, and it's going to let us know that the service was upgraded. So the current quantity is 1. The quantity of upgrade is 10, so that's going to give us a total of 11. And it's going to go back in and let us know that it's provisioning it. So you'll, once again, like I mentioned, you'll have to go back into the contract itself. And this is something we're working on just to refresh it from the page itself. Alright, go back into the contract itself. And you'll notice that it is now activated for quantity 11. Now, if you need to add another line item, let's say this customer needed to add some E3 licenses itself, you can go over here and just select Add Service. and you can actually add any of the products that we offer. But for this one, we're going to do Microsoft. We're going to choose Office 365. Change it to monthly. Wait for everything to load. And again, this is the development environment, so yours will not take this long. This one's just a little bit slower because it is the developer network. All right, E3 licenses, going to choose to add 5 of those. So once we do, it's going to give us the option. I'm going to select the add cart. I'm going to find the end user that I was working with, which is CSP test. Okay. And then I'm going to come up with a new PO number for that. Now you can use the same PO that you currently have for that customer. That way it's easy for you to track it on your end. But for this one, I'm going to use a different one. So if you've got the same customer, we're going to have one PO for you for the year. That's the way most folks are doing it now. We have one PO for that specific customer, so that PO is going to reflect every month when we send you the invoice. We're going to continue the checkout and preview the contract. Now what you'll notice is when I create contract and submit PO, it's gonna know that there's an existing contract for this customer. It's going to give us the contract number that we were working with previously, and these services will be added on to that contract. All right, now we do have to provision the E3 licenses again. So it's going to take us back to the contract management page, and we're going to go through the provisioning process one more time for the new licenses added. So we'll follow the same steps. All the information has already been added to this because, again, we're using the same end user information in the same end user Office 365 account. Just select Submit, and it's going to start provisioning and adding the 5 E3 licenses to that 365 subscription. So once again, we'll go back to Transaction Center and Contracts because we don't have a way to refresh it at this point through that directly. Find the contract ID, 73218. And hopefully I didn't do that too quick. Activated. So it is now activated. That customer now has 5 additional licenses of E3. And again, you can cancel the subscriptions. So if you need to cancel anything or cancel a line item, it's gonna update the contract. It's going to also update the subscription itself. So yes, we want to cancel that service. 5 seconds after they said they needed it, they said they didn't want it anymore. So we're going to go back in and cancel it. And this gives you the freedom to do this on your own without having to wait on us. Now Lauren has spoiled most of our partners by turning around orders very quickly. So we do appreciate her for that. Now anything that we do is going to be reflected within the Office 365 service and the contract. If you need to know what your orders were or your order numbers for any of your CSP contracts as well, you can look those up through here. These are going to be your specific confirmation numbers for the orders themselves. You'll notice that they're up here at the top. It'll tell you your PO, and it'll give you the confirmation number for the order itself. It's going to let you know whether it was accepted or denied, but all of the orders and not the contract IDs can be managed through here. So if you look at this, it's actually going to give you details of what that invoice to you is going to look like based on the current Office 365 setup. So here's the order for that one. It basically looks like one of our normal invoices, I believe, but it does give you the SKU, the quantity, and of course your price for the month. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take, if it's for the same end user, you would use those invoices there. But my recommendation is if you're going to be using this section to assist with the billing of your customers, would be to use the contract section and not the orders section, because this is going to reflect all of the products and the prices that you have. And again, as I mentioned, we will give you the ability to export to Excel. So that will most likely show up right here. You'll be able to export the entire contract list that you have to an Excel spreadsheet where you'll be able to manage and assist with the billing of your customers. All right. Well, that is the extent of the demonstration today. Hopefully I didn't go too fast. If anybody wants to see any of the options that you have through CloudSolv again, please just let me know in the chat box and I'll go through it one more time. If everybody's good to go, we'll give you 30 minutes back in your day. And again, I'm putting together some PowerPoints. I've got one together for the CloudSolv provisioning one where you can create new contracts. And then I've also got one that I'm putting together for the transaction center and managing the contracts themselves. Yes, Paul, go ahead and make a comment regarding the BitTitan promo. I'll tell you what, Paul, I'm going to unmute you if I can find you. All right, Paul, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
There we go. All right. Hey, just wanted to say on the BitTitan promo, the one where the 49 to 150 seats, that promo actually ends tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
There is a new promo, however, and there's a little bit of difference in the way that we process these. The one that ends tomorrow, all those seats were actually purchased, well, not, quote unquote purchased from BitTitan. We didn't really have anything to do with it, but the current promotion that ends tentatively the end of September, we think it'll be extended, but right now it ends the end of September, is for any CSP partner setting up a CSP project. Migration or BitTitan is giving free licenses. There's no quantity here. Free licenses for Migration Wiz and Deployment Pro. The seats are ordered through Synex at no cost.
That's good to know. Thanks, Paul. Can you will you do me a favor? I'm going to send out a follow-up to this meeting. Can you send me the information on that? I don't have it.
Well, Betsy just got it.
Oh, did she? Okay. Well, that would be all. I don't have it.
I was just she and I are headed to a meeting right now, but okay. I will ask her to send you that information. But I just figured since we had folks on the call, I'd go ahead and let you know. That's a really, really strong offer.
Okay. Yes, it is. It is a very strong offer.
So, all right.
Perfect. Thanks, man. Thanks for adding that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Bye.
Craig, you will see this when you log in to EC Express. You will see the CloudSolv tab. If you go in and try to place an order for CSP and you're not authorized, it's going to tell you that you're not authorized. If you get that not authorized pop-up, it's going to give you our Microsoft CSP alias. What you need to do is just submit to us your Microsoft Partner Account ID and your Synex account number, and we'll go ahead and go through the process of getting you authorized. But if you log into EC Express, click on CloudSolv, and you select the monthly option, if the pop-up does show up, just send that information. If not, then you're good to go. David, when Azure is going to be purchased through CSP, probably we'll hear an announcement at WPC, but my guess is going to be in October. That's what I'm hearing. They just we just were added to the pilot for the new Partner Admin Center, and they're saying that this is the Partner Admin Center where we're going to be able to use the Azure through CSP. So step one has been completed. The new Partner Admin Center has been well, not released, but in a pilot. Yes, I did, Stephen, and I can go through that one more time if you'd like. So if you need to reduce license counts, actually I didn't go through, I just went to add it, but if you need to reduce a license count for an Office 365 subscription, the one that I was going through here I actually added, but if you need to delete, then all you do is just select edit and then reduce quantity. So it's going to tell you to reduce quantity, and I want to reduce it by 6. So I'm going to go down to 5 licenses if I'm not mistaken. So once I reduce the quantity, it'll say, all right, new quantity is, and here is the licenses that I am deleting. And again, once I do this, we just need to make sure that you select edit again and submit it, because the submission is where it goes and actually makes the change within the Office 365 account itself. So current quantity of downgrade is 6. That's going to give us 5 total licenses. Of course, no problem. POR is going to be automatically set by us. That's why when we authorize you as a CSP customer, we ask for your MPN ID, because that goes into the authorization itself. So every time we create a line item for you and your customer, you're automatically added as partner of record. Now the customer, yes, the customer, that's a good question. I don't think the customer can change partner of record for CSP licenses. They don't have the option. The only people who can change partner of record is us. So if you are going to be working with that customer, we are going to leave you as partner of record. We do not change that without your permission. So that is set. Customer cannot change it. Now, if anybody wants to go through a CloudSolv change, if you want to add or delete some quantities, or if you have a new customer that you need to go through CSP and you want to go through the CloudSolv portal, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to walk you through your first couple so you get used to the portal itself. And of course, we haven't had anybody place anything through this yet. We had to go through and make sure that all of the prices reflected properly. Those are reflecting now, actually as of yesterday. Late yesterday. So you can go through CloudSolv, you can place the orders, you can change the contracts. If you have any issues or if you have any problems, please reach out to us directly, Microsoft CSP at Synnex.com, or you can use our CSP support aliases. That's actually for 24/7 support. That is CSP support US at Synnex.com. And I'll go ahead and put it in the chat box here. So if it's after hours and you need some support on the CloudSolv ordering side, you can reach out to our CSP support staff 24/7. All right. Well, if nobody has any other questions, Stephen, I see you typing. I don't know if you're typing to me, but oh, there you go. Question is if we take over from a different partner that bought through Open, would they simply not renew Open and we assign CSP licenses into their existing tenant? Yes, that is what you would do. So we would actually send you the delegated admin link for CSP if you don't have it already. You would use that delegated admin link for CSP to log in to the customer's 365 account and select us or authorize us as the CSP partner. That's going to give us the ability to add the monthly licenses through CSP to their existing 365 account. So what they would do is if they purchase through Open, just let those Open licenses expire. And when they do expire, just reassign the CSP licenses to them. Now that should be done automatically once the Open licenses expire, because the CSP licenses at that point will be the only ones that are valid. And Microsoft kind of does that automatically for you, so you don't have to reassign. Now the issue you may run into is that because there are two different license types, or subscription types, one through Open and one through CSP, the customer is going to keep getting the expiration notifications for the Open licenses. Just tell them up front, ignore those. They will go away once the Open licenses do expire. If you want to keep those from coming, you can actually call Microsoft support, the Office 365 support, and that I will put in here as well. That is 800-865-9408. You can call them after we've added the CSP licenses and have them cancel the line item for the Open licenses. That way those notifications stop coming. Good question. All right. Any other questions? Anybody from my team who's on the call have a question? Need to see something again? Everybody multitasking? Doug's multitasking. Got a thumbs up on. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. Really appreciate the time. I did record this, so if you need to see it again or if you want to see a PowerPoint, I'm going to send out our CloudSolv ordering PowerPoint, and I'm also working on the management aspect of it as well. So I have PowerPoints. I'll send those out later today. Thanks for joining, and have a good day.